Hello everyone, I'm Duke Skyloafer, and I'm back in Space Engineers sooner than expected, right? Because I said last time we were going to do some Oblivion Remastered or something else, and then, well, you know, until I figured out what I was going to do in the meantime with Space Engineers, and guess what? I figured it out. I had a really good idea, and I think it was an idea that I said on the stream last time, and as one of the things I was kicking around, and it turned out to be a pretty good idea, I think. So, Ajir, welcome to the chat. Good stream today. I caught, oh, like a half of it at least. The most I've caught so far, I think, because I was working from home today. But yeah, so surprise Space Engineer stream. So here's what we're doing today. This series is not going to be like a true series necessarily with like continuity and story and stuff. This is going to be, I need to build something in creative and prototype something, and we're going to come here to this wonderful ice lake or anywhere, space, whatever, and work on it in creative mode, which is not something I do. Well, it's not something I've ever done on stream before, and you know, it's not something I often do because I usually just prefer to prototype things in survival. But sometimes you want to do some rapid prototyping of things. So, first off, let me fix my mouse real quick here. Yes, there we go. Okay. So, what I want to do is, in this particular stream, we're going to work on something that I intend to use in Designated Survivors. And in future streams, actually the original idea that I had was I saw something cool, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could make that in Space Engineers. And so that was originally going to be the topic of today, but I'm going to save that one. And we're going to do a thing for Designated Survivors. So before I do anything, oh, in terms of mods, by the way, this is going to be a unmodded build. It's a modded world, as you can see from my favorite overlay on the screen, and build info and build vision and everything is here. What else do we have? The paint gun, the easy renamer, and then the what's the mod that gives you the color replacer block V2, just in case I want to play around with colors. It's a nice block. You put it on a grid if you've never worked with it before. You put it on a grid and you could use it to change any block that is of a certain color. You could say change it to this other color. So we'll be able to play around with color as we go. So what we are going to do is go get her. There we go. Which one was the more recent one? Probably this one, I would imagine. All right, so this guy is upside down. There we go. All right, I want to get him to land roughly on here without breaking. Close enough. Oh, the paint gun? Wait, the paint gun does that? Hang on now, Jir. Hang on now. When has the paint gun done that? I am not denying. How does it do that? What's the incantation? Hold on. Deep paint mode, cycle colors, toggle apply, grab color, replace color. Oh, that's why I've never seen it before, because it's creative mode only, and I'm never in creative mode. Well, would you look at that? All right, then we'll take that mod out. This will be way easier. What do you suppose I broke on the bottom there? Probably like a thruster or something. Yeah. All right, so anyway, point is, I built this in one of the streams a while back, a couple years ago at this point, and I always really liked the design of it, so I want to build an atmospheric version of it. So the thing about it is, it has a connection system on the front that allows it to disconnect. Like, this is the tugboat version, essentially. And this whole front section you could see with the merge blocks there disconnects, and then this thing stays as a single unit, you know, with this bar in the front. And then you connect, you know, so if you do any other type of thing like drills or welders, or grinders. They all just go together. I think I did show this on the potato yard site one day. And so I want to use the same system on the front and make an atmospheric version of this ship. And if it turns out good enough, I will. People have been asking me to put this thing on the workshop, and I probably should just go ahead and do that in a non-smoking mode. But so I need to figure out actually if the other attachments are hanging around somewhere. So we might have to. Okay, so there's the drill version. I'm gonna put this one on the ground and see if I could. There we go. That's better. So there's the drill version. So it connects up the same way to here. And what's nice is that each one of these attachments has its own things. Like this attachment has a detector that knows when the drills are full and the lights go on and off, and all of that is self-contained in the attachments. So I'm going to basically use the exact same attachments. And the only difference between this and like the grinder welder is you just lop off everything from here on out and just stick a grinder welder on it. So we're gonna, let me turn off these thrusters here. So we're gonna turn off, we're gonna try and build an atmospheric version of this thing. So that might be a little bit more difficult because the atmospheric thrusters are differently shaped, but I think we could do it. So I don't really want to necessarily copy this exactly, but I kind of want to copy the main bits of it. You know, like the central core of it, kind of. And then see if we could just figure out a better way to do, you know, so it's got lots and lots of, maybe I should pop in another one here and put it on its side, and we can look at the side here. Hang on. There we go. So in terms of downward thrust, how did we do that? Where even is or rather up thrust? How do we do this? There's the side thrust. Oh, there we go. So there's the downward thrust right there. Along the side there. That's not too bad. We could probably put some atmospheric things there, but we're going to need a lot more down is the difference, of course. So, as opposed to space where it doesn't really matter. So I'm wondering, in the middle here we have I believe we just have we just have one single large container there. And then the rest of this is, I think that's a nuclear reactor. We could probably get rid of that for the planet. What's underneath that? Is there another cargo behind it? No, it doesn't look like it. Cargo, yeah, it's no. Okay, so just the one cargo. So let's see. Oh, that's just an adapter. Okay. There's some uranium. Why did I need an adapter? Probably for this oxygen tank. That is what this is, right? Yeah. Do I need to keep an oxygen tank, though? If it's atmospheric, I don't feel like I do. Not even convinced that I needed it in space either. But you never know. Okay, so we could potentially let's see. So the only true restriction to this is that it can't have any small piping, right? Because if it's going to be potentially a grinder welder ship at times, then it has to have big piping all the way through the entire thing, which is why this is how it is. But the good news is we could at least replace this with, we could replace this thing with another cargo. Now, how would I get my cargo connector? Oh, you know what I could do? If this is atmospheric, we could maybe rotate this so that the big connector is on the bottom, although it won't really be very flat then. It won't really be very flat because it will stick out 2 blocks if it's on the bottom. I think I'd have, well, see, I'd want to keep, yeah, I want to keep it like flat and streamlined like this for tunneling purposes. So, can I just take, why can't I take you? That's fine. So we would have to, I mean, we could do, the right thing. So the inset connector wouldn't work. Because I'd want it to be like there. Yeah, I was hoping it would be like the large grid one where it had a thing on the side, but it does not. So we can still do a, we could still put a cargo here. And then a connector on the other side of it. Where are we going to put... I should probably turn on mirror mode. Okay. Alright, so where would we put... I wanted to get like one large downward facing. What's inside of these side things here? Let's see. So we've got, I think, a battery here. Let's get rid of... Oh, this is where I should have probably been doing this here. Oh wait, no, that was another cargo I just deleted, I think. No, what was that? That was not a cargo. That was a thing that just, what do you call it? Like one of those, conveyor junctions, I think. Doing this. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a battery here. So we've got our forward stopping. So we could potentially put... We want to keep as many batteries as possible so they can stay out longer. We don't need big thrusters on the back. We do probably want some big stopping thrusters though. Hey Marcus. What do you mean you can't see what I'm building? It's because I don't know what I'm building. We're going to figure it out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out... So I probably don't need this many side thrusters. I think all those are just there to make it look nice. So we don't really need all of those. So I could... If we move one of these batteries... yeah. If we move one of these batteries, we could do downward thrusters here on the sides. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take this one and start right there. Start taking off bits. There we go. Now they're like separate objects. Alright, I'm going to try and go down to like just the main core. The main central section here. Oh, am I using camouflage texture? I couldn't tell. I know I'm going to end up deleting this platform here. Okay. That cuts off most of that. And then we decided we don't need that. Something's still on fire. We're going to get rid of all these. Alright. What's still on fire? Probably that thing. Let's see. Tool in here somewhere. No. Oh yeah, this cargo has nothing in it. Alright, what else is smoking? Something down here. Event controller. Event controller, we're going to have to leave. Oh, you know what? That's probably the reactor on the bottom, which we're not going to keep. So, alright, so we're going to keep roughly this. What else do we have tucked up under here? We have more event controllers, a bunch of gyros, antenna. I want to say, let me grab a grinder here, a very slow grinder, and just want to look behind these without taking them out. Okay, that's piping. Yeah, I think this is all just piping then. Going to the cockpit. Yeah, okay. Cool. Alright then. Here's what we're going to do. Let's make ourselves a little building platform. And see how well we can get this onto there. Is that going to even... Well, that's a problem, because that's where I don't want that to be. What if we do... so what we're doing is, this thing normally is for space, right? And it has these detachable utility things. So it has 4 of them. I don't have all 4 of them out, but one of them was the magnet things, the mag plates that were on the front of this one. One of them is these drills. And then there's a version that is grinders and welders. And so this whole section in the front here, these are merge blocks behind there. This all disconnects. And then it can reattach to a different tool set. And all of the functionality of the tools, like this has event controllers and stuff in it, it's all contained in the front section. So every time it disconnects and reconnects, it like fully reconfigures to become that thing. So... I'm trying to make an atmospheric version of it is what I'm doing. So not a hybrid, not like a ion atmospheric or a hydrogen atmospheric or anything, just purely atmospheric. Yum. Okay, so... Get rid of these. We'll figure out where to put the blocks back in later. little blocks that we need. Maybe I'll keep that. Try to keep this thing here. Oh, my buttons are not where they usually are. Oh, you're... Okay, never mind. That's funny. Where's the... Give me a better welder. Yeah, okay, good. I guess I should probably turn that thing off then, huh? What did I just turn off? Projector's off? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Rumble Strip. What happened, man? If you're willing to share. Why is this thing still projecting? Okay, there it goes. Alright, this light can go. Alright, so that's basically the core of what I want to keep. How did this get unwelded? Ooh, that's rough. Rumble Strip, sorry to hear that. Okay, let's get rid of some of these extra bits. Actually, maybe let's not get rid of all the extra bits. Maybe let's add one extra bit. Let's actually add... Let's make this whole thing a little bit more stable, just in case I accidentally do something. Okay, so... We need to keep... Things we need to keep. This... thing. This conveyor. Now, did I have an orientation for that? I don't think it mattered. We could always change it. There we go. Okay. And we're going to need... Now we could upgrade this thing and do these. I think we probably should. That would look a lot better. At least I think that would look better. Maybe we should do... We could do inset ones like on one side and then the non-inset ones on the other side. So you can kind of see them. I like that. We'll see what that looks like. So we'll do... So those go there. Okay. So that's pretty much all we need. That's not all we need. We need a... Right at the end of that, we're going to need a merge block. I don't know if we can actually put a merge block directly right there or not. Looks like we can. Okay. So that's all we need. That's the whole interface for connecting to the front bits, which I think I called multi-tools. I want to say when they disconnect, their name becomes multi-tool or something like that. Or do they? I had a script that would do that. That would rename them when they disconnected, but I don't remember if I actually put that on there. I might not have. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then we did determine that this back here could just become additional cargo. Oh, I have cargo on here. This could become one of these guys. We don't need... Actually, I'm going to turn it this way because I want to say we might potentially need a connection off the back. Or off the bottom, rather. So we'll do that. Then we'll stick with... I think I'm going to stick with the normal one on the back then. So there we go. So now we got a little bit more cargo. I wish you could use cargo for these side things. That would be nice. So now we've got all this extra space. We're going to need... so on top here, Let's see, what did we have? Batteries, and then the... Okay, so we had big thruster battery, and then big thruster vertical battery. That should be... Yeah, that's the whole thing. So we had... We had, like, battery here with a thruster behind it, and then, like, thruster here with battery behind it. So that's going to look weird. There's all of my atmosphere. Does that have the flat nose? It does. So that would look a little bit weird if we were to put these things here for stopping. But not as weird as I thought. Not as weird as I thought. The nice thing before was that these thrusters were the same. In 2 dimensions, they were the same as the batteries, so they sat really nicely with the batteries. That is not the case with the Atmos. We could do, though... Like, we could do something with these things. That would be... Because then we'd have a lot more room to put, like, a battery behind them. Kind of feel like, though, if I'm going to go big, I should go with these. So, math-wise, hang on, I got to think about this. So, one of these is roughly a third, right? When did my... oh, you know what? I forgot that I turned on the rotation tips when I was playing with the guys the other day. Okay, but there we go. All right, 230 kilonewtons for one of those, and one of these is 576, which is roughly twice. Oh, this one's 230. Yeah, 230. So 230 plus 230 is 460. So it's more than, definitely more than twice, right? Almost 3 times, if I recall. One of these is 96, which means like 2.5 is equal to one of these, which means what was the old math? It's like 9 of these is a big one or something like that in terms of force. I forget how the math works out. I guess I could probably just do the math. I'm on a computer, but I don't know if there's a... One thing I've never done is the math on power to thrust ratio. If it's, you know, like this uses 2.4 megawatts at most for 576 kilonewtons, whereas one of these is 600 kilowatts for 96 kilonewtons. That doesn't seem like that evenly works out, but maybe it does. Hang on. I have a calculator. Let's see. This is the kind of thing that's riveting to watch when you can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, so 96 kilowatts. Okay, so that's 0.16 per kilonewton per kilowatt. Should probably have just done this the other way. Here. Divided by. Okay, so 6-point ratio of 6.25. Then for this one, it's... I did that wrong. .34. So it is, let's see, smaller numbers are better. So this is more efficient than this. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So this big one is more efficient than this little one. And then this one is... is the most efficient of them all. By a little bit. So... equivalent smalls have more mass. Yeah, okay. So, in other words, I want to favor the larger ones if I need the thrust. If I need that much thrust, I should favor the larger ones. It sounds like the Flatmos are okay if I'm good with with that amount of thrust. Oh, for the size? I was just, yeah, I don't know about the size. Rumble strip. I was looking at just power and force. So like a large one of these, or a single one of these, space-wise, is 9. You need 9 of them to fill one of these, right? So, and now I gotta figure out weight. Where's weight in here? 66.99 kilograms. All right, 6,291, and one of these is 2,000, almost 3,000. Yeah, so equivalent if I were to use 9 of these, that would be. Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't do it like that. I should do what's the equivalent force, right? So, so 6 of these is the equivalent force of one of these. So, so 6 of them. Yeah, just let me have my math fun. Just relax. That's 4,000. Yeah, so even 6 of these for equivalent force to one of these would be just over 1,000 more kilograms. So this is the most efficient way to go. So I am calculating mass, though, Marcus. I'm not using weight. I don't even know how much these things weigh. I guess they weigh Earth gravity because it's 1g, but all I know is the kilograms. Okay, so, but now I have to balance out the other aspect of this, which is it looks dumb. So, how many of these little guys, do I need to make one of these guys in terms of force? Roughly 2 1/3. So if I had 3 of these, that would be more than one of these. And I would probably want more than 3 of these for forward stopping power. Although I could do a combination. I could do like one of these and then a couple of these stashed somewhere. We could put them underneath back here where they won't burn anything. And then I'm thinking maybe we do vertical big boys right here. That should be plenty for holding us up, I would think. And then the rest of this is just figuring out side-to-side thrust, which could go along here, pointed outwards. What am I missing? I would have... Oh, forward thrust. Forward thrust. So if I did... Let's see, I want to be about... there, let's say. I still need batteries, too. That's the other bit. I mean, I could do... We could put forward thrust along here. Or, like, this. This would be enough, I think, for forward thrust, right? Something like that. We put our side-to-side thrust along here. Or down underneath here. Where am I going to put a battery, then? Can I fit a battery? If I move this back one like this... If we use the other connector and I move this back one to there, then I could fit a battery. I could do... Let's do this one. We could go... So do I want to be in with this? Do I want to just go in as far as I can? I guess I can't go in any further right there anyway, so... So if we did battery there... do you guys like the regular large Atmos or the sci-fi large Atmos better? For some reason, I feel like the sci-fi ones don't fit the aesthetic of anything else for some reason. Like the large grid ones, I hate. I think they look just horribly bland, especially these with the square block in the middle. But the sci-fi ones in large grid I think look really good. But in small grid, for some reason, I don't like them as much. But Marcus says, how much percent? That looks like 100,000%. I don't know. It's an awful lot. I don't know if I can argue with that. Don't know if I can argue with that. Okay, we will use these as placeholders for now. So if we did, now yeah, we could go in one and give me the outer layer, but I don't think that helps me at all. Maybe it does. Let's try that. No, there's no mods other than tools for building. This has got to be all vanilla is the plan. So it's vanilla thrust. Let's see. Now, these things don't rise above, right? No, they don't. Okay, so I could stick out really to like here about. Probably to there, although I kind of risk at that point burning things. But it does give me extra space sticking forward. So if we did that, or is that just going to be too... Well, let's see. The alternative I was... No, that's not going to be too tall, because the top of the thing already goes to there. These little tail fins in the back, technically. So let's say we do that. We do that. So we got forward, we got backwards, we got up. We could do, let's see, we got 2 batteries. We could do a 3rd battery right here. We could do side thrust. Let's see. I think I can fit 3 right here, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess I could stack them too if I really wanted to. I'm not sure how I'm going to armor over this and make it look good, though. I don't know that I can make it look good. Alright, what am I missing? Forward thrust? I don't suppose 2 of them is going to be enough. We could put some up here as well. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to put thrusters, and then we'll decide if they look stupid or not. Okay. I know I don't have enough side thrust. Forward thrust is probably okay. I don't need to accelerate too fast. Yeah, there's gyros. They're hidden in there. There's 4 of them, I want to say. Maybe more. Alright, so I can do... Oh, you know what? That's a good point, Duke. I just thought of that. On the original ones, all of the side thrust is actually down here, and there's a ton of it. So we could just use that same structure, just not nearly as many. Yeah, it starts right at the block there. So we could go like ore detector right there. Antenna up there. We could go like, I don't know, how many do we need on each side? Like 4? 5? Oh, maybe 5 is good. 6 would take us all the way to the back. Well, let's just do it, whatever. Let's just do it and see what happens. Alright, so that's not bad. I mean, if I have more weight budget, I could even put another battery right here. That would be 1 more battery than I had for space, and that's actually probably a good thing, although we're getting potentially up to weight issues. The nice thing about starting with the existing Chungus here is that most of the core blocks you need were in the middle already. So pretty much everything, by copying this middle part, is already there. I got rid of my oxygen tank. Should I have kept the oxygen tank in case I need this on like Mars or something? What if we go to Mars and we need an atmospheric miner and we're going to want some? Or do we just say like, hey, make sure you grab an oxygen bottle with you? I guess we would just do that. Make sure you take an oxygen bottle with you. I really don't like those gigantic thrusters on there. I might move them back a little bit. Maybe that's the way to go. If we're not going to put anything else in that spot. If we put the tank back... oh, that's right. You're right. We have small ones now. We didn't used to have small ones. That's right. Okay. Let's see. It's just like an inline thing. I mean, heck, we could just stick it like right there. You could just sit there. We also have this space down here. We could have put... We could, like, have a little connector come down and just hold it right there. Or something like that. Or I could put two of them side to side on there. I don't know. Yeah, this is a good idea. Because we wouldn't need, like, a ton of oxygen. But... Oh, that's a good idea, too. We could go... Because this is where, on the space one, we had a nuclear reactor on it. Which... since I intend for this to basically be like an early game build, you know, since it's an early game build, I don't intend to use a reactor on it. So, yeah, let's do, okay. Let's check this out. Oh, typing, huh? Typing is my nemesis today. Okay, so we could do... Yeah. Oh, ow. Stop it. What's that? What? You ever put your hands on the wrong keys? There she goes. So there we go. Now we got that. And I'll probably just put like a something on the other side of here just to hold it, you know, make it look like it's contained, kind of a deal. We'll cover up the things. In fact, we could probably put 2 more thrusters down there if we wanted. Might be a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. Okay. Now, I think the other thing I want to leave some space for is that we did delete some controllers down here. How many? Like, timers? I want to say. Does this thing still have them? No. Who's the... I need another good specimen. Okay, so yeah, we just had 2 timers. No, event controllers. 2... That's a reactor, that's a thruster, hang on. I know these are event controllers. Yeah. Oh, and they're related to the reactor. Reactor engage, reactor disengage. Okay, so maybe I don't even need to put them back on there. Because the reactor would only turn on if the batteries were low. So we could put, you know, it could just like snuggles 2 additional thrusters down in there. That feels like plenty, although I don't really like how this looks. Just kind of going around the battery like that. Like we can kind of do some stuff to shape it up, but it just looks like it's just like a big flat. Because I'm going to end up putting a camera here for docking. So let's put our camera back on there. Yeah, I mean, I can cover it up a little bit. Kind of slow, but how does the back of these things look? Oh yeah, because we kind of go into the... I don't know why that looks better, just having that giant container sticking out, but it do. And I left this open specifically so you could get in and get bottles. But... okay. Okay. Alright, we're going to move you... we can move you back a little bit to, like... that's it. That kind of just ruins all the space, doesn't it? But it feels the most balanced to me. I'm going back and forth on whether or not I need such large thrusters. I mean, you're going to be pointing down and drilling, but that's still a lot of thrusters. I mean, I could easily do 6 of these. And that would be, what did we decide weight-wise? 6 of them weighs just a little bit more than 1 of these, so we basically cut the weight in half. And we probably don't need that much thrust, right? Like 6, that would be slightly less than our acceleration power here. We have 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could do them in tiers. I could do multiple ones. We could go like... then I could kind of go back and maybe do like something like that and then shape it up. I know that that's still less weight than 2 big guys. I think that looks a little bit better, and then we could kind of slope the armor in around this a little bit. I don't want to put any down here facing forward because I might burn the connectors. I think that's going to be better. Now, what do I do with the space back here, you're asking? More battery? How much does a battery weigh? Battery weighs half of a thruster. So if I put big batteries right here, I'm giving up all the savings of the thrusters. No, I don't want to do that. I think 3 batteries is probably good. Just like lights that I could see where the merging happens. Down here, you're saying? I could put little batteries, maybe just like a row of little batteries. Not that it would make a huge difference. I mean, these things are tiny and they don't hold much, but I've got the space. You know? Yeah, that's what I was saying, like, I don't necessarily want to put, like, any thrusters, like, right here, just because as we're approaching a connection to one of these things, I don't want to risk damaging it. So. I could slip some back here. Slip a few in here. I don't think that would be... how would we be looking here? Potentially problematic. Potentially problematic. Down here would be okay, but it would look weird. This doesn't look like it's connected to anything. I think this may be okay. We might be okay with just doing that. That's already a lot. I mean, let me... oh yeah, the cockpit's still here. With all of its stuff. I wonder what oh yeah, that's right. There was a there's a toolbar for every connection type that would light up when it connected. Alright, let me just go to like 9 for a minute here and grab our landing gear. Now my question is, if I go flying this thing around right now, will it... Yeah, it'll show me. I'm just curious if I'm going to get over encumbered on battery output. You know what I mean? Like, am I going to... if at any point, if I'm flying, am I going to, like, hit the brakes and... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so... Going in 2 directions, we're not pulling more battery than we need. Although we don't have a lot of time. Like when we're flying, we're at 34 minutes. And yeah, I think I might do. Let's keep on hovering for a minute here, because I'm pretty sure we have infinite power, yeah? Let's see. If I were to just put on a couple of little batteries, just maybe like along the inside here. We're probably going to armor over all that anyway. It's on both sides, right? Does that significantly help us? A little bit. A little bit. It gave us like 4 more minutes. Now we still have to account for when we're full. And when we have tools attached. But overall, not bad. It feels more responsive than one of the ISL ships that I usually use. So, I mean, this is empty. Alright, so then the next phase, I guess let me, since I have all this thrust, let me, yep, I was gonna... Okay, that worked. I was going to cut it, but apparently it's a hardy landing gear that's now embedded in the ice and took no damage from that fall. Okay, good. Ow. Okay, now that we've got that, let's actually make it look good. Actually, wait, hold on. How much weight did I just add with these little batteries? This one is 1,000. It's 146, so I just added 8 of them. Oh yeah, that would be... That wouldn't even be a one singular full battery. These hold 200 kilowatts, so 8 of them is 1,600 kilowatts, 1 point. Yeah, one of these would be 4 megawatt. I'm tempted. Because I don't think we're going to run into any issue of thrust. You know, thrust and weight. So it really just becomes then a matter of, see, now I can fly for an hour, you know. I think this is the way to go. Lots and lots of battery. Maybe it would be better actually to take out the middle battery in the back and just have the 2 batteries on the side. Plus that's very similar to the configuration of the other one. It actually might be the exact configuration of batteries on the original. Yeah, and then maybe we just we change these thrusters on the back. We don't have this battery here. We change these to either be in a line or more of a U shape. Actually, can it be in a U shape? Yeah, it could. I just have to do some... I have to put another thing up there. I think that would look better. Let's find out. We gotta... See, I still have backwards thrust, so we should be okay there. Let's see, am I going to burn my camera? Let's find out. I guess I could put like a little one in the middle. Where's my big guy? Here we go. So if we did that and we did that, what are the odds that I burn my camera? Give me a second. Seems to miss the camera. Okay. Good enough for me. Alright, then I'm going to, for now, I don't know how I'm really going to do this, but I want to, I guess I should figure this out. I want to, so I can attach the other two up on the side there. So this is going to look like that, maybe. Yeah. Let's see, then maybe we could, like... Yeah. We'll do something blue in the middle there or something. I'll just kind of do that, and we'll maybe... How do I want to do this part? I kind of want to go... I could put like a light right there or something. Yeah, it's gonna look dumb. That? That'll look okay like that. Actually, this kind of would look okay. Just like that. It's kind of centered over it. Centered enough. Maybe this should be this one. Like that. Then I got to think about how is that going to merge into that. I guess I should bring this closer to the ground so that I could see what I was doing with the other ones as I smash it into the ice here. Okay. So, yeah, so we just did... That's going to have to be different, because I don't have the same space. That's okay, though. This just had those things on the side. Okay. How well can you hold yourself up sideways for me? I can't fit anything in between there, right? Yeah, okay. Looking at... Okay. That looks okay. Then we'll try to do some of that same blue pattern along the side here. Maybe I should recreate that blue pattern first, and then figure out how that's gonna mesh in with this before I get too far into, like, trying to do some sort of, like, anything. Some sort of an anything, you know? This part here could change. I kind of liked it the way it, like, I had it like this so you can kind of see the stuff down in there, which I kind of liked. Ooh, And I've got this spot. I could stick my vent controllers in there if I need more vent controllers. That's good to remember. That's good to remember. Okay, so how does this... Let's fly you over to where I could see up a little bit there. And this thing really moves. Okay. So, first thing I need is like this color. Let's grab it. There. And we're going to need some plates. You know what? I've been going for a long time and I've not had a drink of water. I'm getting a little parched. So I'm going to take a quick drink of water, and while I'm doing that, if you all would consider liking the video if you're enjoying what I'm doing, and consider subscribing if you haven't already done that. Oh, man. Okay. That was good. I was thirsty. Alright, so I think the main goal, the main point of this originally was just to cover up this big yellow spot. So I think we're going to do that, and the first piece of it was actually one of these light panels. You know, it would bother me if that thing was upside down, so... Oh yeah, okay, I guess I can't yet. Alright, so we are, I believe we're centered. Yeah, we are centered right on there. The pattern doesn't have to be exactly the same. It's just supposed to evoke the same thing. Please don't let me accidentally delete something important. Hey Kaz, we are taking a model of an ion miner, a space mining ship, and I am building an equivalent atmospheric version, or at least trying to. Alright, then my favorite part, which is scrolling through all of these different shapes till I find the one I want. Found the one I want. Except that's not the way it goes. I actually think this looks better this way with this thing on here than the other one did. Did I pass the first? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I wonder, should we consider, now that we have more space to fill, perhaps doing something like this? See, there it is. Something like that instead. No, it is not an off-center miner. It's actually, in my opinion, cooler than that. So the miner has attachments. So this is the miner version. There's another, we already stripped that one down, but this whole front section here of the miner from here on across, with this bar there, disconnects. And so it has attachments for mining, grinding, welding, and towing. So there's an attachment that's just got big mag plates on the front. So that's what we're building here, is that this thing we'll be able to attach up to those attachments and be a flexible ship, which is it's something to aspire to, honestly. Like the Go-Getter, that's the name of this one. We'll have to come up with an atmospheric name for it, I guess. But the Go-Getter it lasted a long time. Like I think it only blew up once, and it was all because I flew too close to an enemy and they shot me down while I was heading to an asteroid. So it lasted a really long time, despite the fact that I was like constantly changing out all these attachments and such. I think this one may crash more frequently, just given that I'm going to be using it in that series with the guys who don't really know what they're doing. And I'm going to make them fly it. That's the other thing to keep in mind here is I'm making them fly this. All right, on the back though, I think I'm going to keep the same shape going here, like this. And I think I'm going to finally, once I have the atmospheric version done and tested, finally put all of this stuff up on the workshop. The hard part about it is that it's a, like you'd have to put it up as like 5 or 6 different blueprints, right? Because you want to blueprint each of these things individually. Or I could make, like I could put it up like as a blueprint with one attachment on it and say like, here it is, you know, like there's a version with each attachment pre-attached. But then it's like, well, what if I want one of the other ones? Do I have to project an entire ship and then only build the front of it, or what do I do? So, kind of weird. And that also reminds me that I needed a space for a projector, and that could just be right here. Kind of a central projector spot. I don't have a spot. Oh, you know what? It could go up on the top here. We'll put it right back here. Let me do that now before I forget. Let's keep it blue because it's in the center line. I like that. Forward seems to be that way, huh? They never updated their icon for it. That's not surprising. Or maybe that's the colorful icons mod. Didn't update, but I suspect that it did not update. I am at some point going to make them design ships and vehicles and stuff. Like, eventually my goal is that they each have their own thing going on, and we're just all working toward a similar goal. Like, when we eventually go after cargo ships in space and stuff like that, or we start going after, like, things that spawn on the ground and stuff, like, I'm gonna tell them, like, you know, make your own little vehicle or whatever. Make your own attack ship, your own warship. And we'll each go in our own ships, you know, and go attack these things. So that's what I'm thinking. But I do like the sprue idea, actually, that way, because then it is all in the same blueprint, and you could just kind of project and then just build as much as you want. I do like that idea. And it would be easier than if you're in a, like, if you need all of them, and you could just be like, I'm just going to project all of them, build them all, and then separate them from each other. I like that idea, Kaz. That's a good idea. All right, so where else? How did my top thing go? Okay, so this is the part I was wondering about, because this goes up and around the top. That was going to dictate... that battery is slightly off from the other one. But I think that's going to dictate how I shape the top, basically. And if I want to keep that same shape going there or not. So at some point I'll have to separate one of these front parts and figure out how I'm going to attach it up here. Okay, so I need, starting from there, I need, okay. So we need that guy. And then, it's not the same shape, darn. That guy. Okay. Scoot through this whole thing. There we go. Did I care which way that was facing? I guess I did it that. Oh, is it the... So I'm looking at the texture and how that thing is at the bottom there, but down here it's on the back, but now I'm guessing that maybe it's actually just different on both sides of the ship. There it's on the back. There it's on the bottom. Yeah, okay. It's just the way the texture mirrors. That's the way the texture mirrors. Alright, then across the top. Okay, so we got that going on. Okay. I lost it. This little one always gets me because I always think when I'm just scrolling through and looking at the icons, I'm like, yeah, we found it. I found it. Not it. You know, this was incredibly annoying doing this in survival the first time. Just want everybody to be aware of that. How... did I do that in the wrong spot? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Because this needs one of these. There we go. I found it. Should I put some rounded blocks on this thing somewhere? Sometimes the rounded things don't look terrible. Could do something over this thruster here. I don't know that that's actually aerodynamically a good idea. Maybe something like, I'm getting distracted, but something like that. I don't know. How did you get here, Game Dork? Are you lost? Are you lost? Either way, I appreciate you coming in. Okay. This is the wrong one. Did I do this wrong again? Hang on. That's supposed to go up. I did. That's supposed to go up from the tip. Okay, see, this is what happens when I get distracted. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And now, interestingly enough, that's going to just merge right into this thing. Not the worst. I mean, it definitely evokes the same feel. Right now that those plates are on there, like, it's really, really similar. Did my stream got recommended to you? I didn't know that it did that to people. Okay, so I don't really like this corner being cut out there. It looks like somebody goofed. Oh, it just occurred to me that there you go. Textures are different. And we'll just do... So what do I want that to be, though, right there? Do I want it to be like... I'm not sure that I really like this thing being here. I do like this thing continuing along underneath there. I might just curve it back in at the very end there. Yeah, I think I really don't like that thing there. I think I am going to take something to that in a moment, but what do I do? What am I going to do right here? So I'm trying to decide, like, do I just end that and then do something with, like, either beam blocks or the, what are these things called? Scaffold blocks? Yeah, we could do something like that. It is. It is very chunky. You are not wrong. This doesn't look good on that battery, though, because of the way that sticks out. So, I don't get tired of explaining this, but the deal is, a long time ago, I made this space miner with ion thrusters, and it has detachable front bits here. So it has one for mining, welding, grinding, and towing, and it can detach these and reattach them. They're a single unit in the front, both sides, and so it we're making an atmospheric version of that same thing, basically. That's the plan here. My phone's doing something weird. It thinks I touched it. I didn't. Okay, so I kind of like something's got to happen with this. Can't just, well, I could put a light there. Now that can't just be flat there. That's got to be something else. This can be flat here. I'm okay with that because the thrust is coming out. I think, okay, so I think down the middle here, I'm gonna ignore this for a few minutes. You know what I'm gonna do actually is take a copy of this and just put it over here for when I accidentally accidentally delete the thrusters holding this thing up and it falls to the ground. So, the crowns. Why don't you guys explain the crowns? That is one thing I get tired of explaining because it's dumb. The crowns in chat. We could extend out from here. We could maybe do something that loops around to this. We could make something that seems to go all the way around and connects to here. If I were to replace that with the inset one, nah, we won't do that. I will tell you because I think you can just click on the top and see the top people. But right now, actually, Ajir does have the most XP, and Marcus has the second most, and Rumblestrip, and everybody else is basically tied for third, but Rumblestrip's got it. I still don't know how you get XP. You know, we tried a couple of things, and oh, Factorum spawned. I thought I turned that off. Oh, we're not going to go test against the Factorum. We tried. Marcus gave me $1 last time, and it didn't put him up on the. It didn't put him higher on the board, even though YouTube told me that giving money is one of the things that gives you points on the leaderboard. So don't do it. It seems to be broken. I mean, do it if you want to, but don't do it just to get on the leaderboard because that seems to be broken. What was I? Where was I going? I was working. Oh, I remember what I was about to do. Let's do that. I got a new wrist rest, and I'm still getting used to it. I keep bumping my mouse with it every time I have to put my right hand on the keyboard. All right, so that is a. Oh, you know, yeah, that's a good point. Let's not do what I was going to do. Let's do this instead. Because we've got all this space right here. We can just keep on going with that right there. And I think we're going to go... We're going to go one further on this. Like that, and maybe do that, and then right in here, so I can throw some lights back there or something. Right in there, what will be the deal? Okay. I think I know what will be the deal. And it is actually in group 3. It's... Oh. No. No, it's... I thought I had another block there. Thought I had another block's worth of space. Yeah, it looks okay. That looks okay. Then I'm thinking here I might do that. Does that look weird? I'm going to have to defer to Ajir on your question there. I think he's got the right idea. Is that what I want? Ah, it feels like I put a random... No, actually, that curve there I think is just goofy enough to work. Honestly. Now my question is... Do I want... Did I do... On the original one, did I use any beam blocks anywhere? I don't think I did, to be honest. I don't think that was part of the... I mean, it was in the game, but I don't think I used them at all. I was going to say maybe I could put some beam blocks here or something instead. Maybe we should use beam blocks. Like maybe that should be a thing. We'll have to come up with a different color for beam blocks. Although that looks kind of weird like that. Oh, Cass, thank you so much for $10. That's incredible. You did not have to do that. I swear, if it does not put you at the top now, I'm going to be pissed. No, you're not at the top yet. Maybe it needs to take a minute? I have no idea. But thank you so much. I am still shocked that people want to not want to give me money, but even want to like just be here for the stream. You know, still kind of shocking to me. Is that gonna look weird if I don't do it on both sides? Should I do it on both sides? Should I get rid of this and do, or should I just get rid of this? So I was thinking I kind of need to redo this and kind of connect, because I got to armor over some of this here. So like we got to do something here. Yeah, I think it has to look at periodically and like recalculate, because the people move up and down on the ranks like oddly, so but we'll see. I mean, that definitely like should at least get you on the board. I'm gonna head to Starbucks right after this. Oh, not really, I think they're closed, but again, thank you so much. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, maybe. If I were to... Well, the good news is I don't really like this very much to begin with, so... SE under the hood is fascinating. First off, thank you very much for saying that. I'm trying to do it like a live tutorial series, you know, like a sneaky way of teaching people about space engineers, and it's good that it's live too, because whenever I'm streaming, it's already happened today, but whenever I'm streaming, I learn things from people in chat who are telling me I'm doing things not in the most efficient way, or a thing exists that I didn't know exists. Like I didn't know the paint gun could just change every instance of a color on a grid if you're in creative mode. I never knew that. Ajir was telling me about that. But yeah, say when you're like I do C# programming for work from time to time, and when you write mods and you write things for like programmable blocks, and then you see how the underlying code works that interacts with the objects, you start to understand like, oh, this is why the grid behaves in a certain way. It's because that's how the underlying, you know, code works and interacts with each other. So like there's no, like we talk about subgrids. I think that's an interesting one. We talk about subgrids as like, I'm going to get off track, but it's okay because I'm going to go make examples now. Hang on. All right, if I put this here, right? And then I put that there. This is a subgrid now, right? But in fact, as far as the game is concerned, they're both subgrids. This thing is a subgrid. This thing is a subgrid. It has, even though the rotor, like this part is the moving part, so it feels like this is the subgrid. As far as the game is concerned, they're subgrids of each other. If you put a seat on here, this is the main grid, that's the subgrid. Put a seat on here, that's the main grid, that's the subgrid. There's no way to say, like, get me all of my subgrids. It's just get me all of the grids that are attached to me, basically. So, that was an interesting one to learn. The other one that I thought was interesting is the way merge blocks actually work, which is interesting. It's logical, but only when you like think about it really hard. So these merge blocks are locked together, right? Because they're on the same grid, they're facing each other, they are locked together, and the lights are green. But they're actually not any more locked together than these two blocks are. They're simply two blocks on the same grid that are next to each other and happen to be facing each other. And I remember writing a script, and to determine whether or not two merge blocks are connected is simply a matter of detecting, are they on the same grid, and are they next to each other, and are they facing each other? If they are, then logically they are connected. There's no other situation for them to be in. If they are... Oh, and they're both on. If one of them is off, now they're not connected anymore, but they're still, like, functionally, technically, they're the same grid, they're just two blocks next to each other. They're not technically any more or less connected than they were before. If the grid splits, now they're not even on the same grid. They can't detect each other. It's just a really weird, like it's the natural way that, you know, these things have to work, right? So it's pretty cool. Anyway, we were working on getting rid of this because I don't like it. I think I might take the beam blocks out just because it's inconsistent, but we'll see. So for here, I want to cover... I want to cover this on top of here, at the very least back here. I don't really want to just... I mean, we could just come straight out and down and call it a day. Don't really want to do it like that. But Yeah, you know what? Let's do it in the way that it is in my head, and then see if I like the way it looks. So we've got maybe. I think we got to stay with half grid, half block. Hey, Kerbo, welcome to the stream. We could use... We could kind of merge in with that. Okay, let me go back to just full-on half block like this. Alright, so if we just did that, right? That connects in there. Now we've got... Let's see. We could throw one of these little guys in the corner if we wanted, or I could do... like that. I like the idea of keeping that opening going there, through there. So... do I then... Okay. Okay then. Let me try... throw that on there. Then I need that one block that goes in between them, which is like that. And then I think we have another block for this, do we not? Kind of. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, okay. No. No, it would be you again. There we go. I'm just going to do that. Leave that part kind of open. Ooh, okay. Hey, if we're doing those things. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I call those quarry miners that you're talking about, Game Dork. But yeah, where all the drills are on the bottom, you just like sink down and like you just plunge down. Yeah. Alright, now I'm thinking this on the side here looks like too much on the side of this. We could maybe turn this... Let's see, I could use the less... if I don't mind having a little corner stick out. We could make this a PAM miner, actually. What would we need to do? We'd have to put a sensor on it. And a programmable block. Everything else is here. We could do it. Alright, I want to paper over the side of this. Right there. How do I want to do that? I'm assuming... Oh, you know, maybe we'll do a... maybe we'll do one of these thingies. Does that look dumb? I mean, like, I guess it kind of looks functional because of the the hole there, but it looks kind of dumb. You know, it's like, it feels like it should be able to suck air in there, but we could potentially extend the blue up to it. What would that look like? Let's experiment a little bit with that here. What if we did like I think I've painted myself into a corner here. Why doesn't that look weird? I feel like that should look weird, but it doesn't look weird. What's the deal with that? You know, one thing we could do is actually kind of carry this shape around. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna go crazy. I don't like it. I don't like where this is going because it might look awesome. It was not part of the plan. I'll get there. Probably went over it twice already. There it is. Darn. I was hoping I could put this like right in front there and have like a separator. Oh yeah, I could if I just put something right here. Well, I could go back to this thing. Although I don't know that that actually provides what I need. Do that. Do that, and we could... Can't go up that way, though. I feel like I've gone crazy with boxing things in, and I don't like it. I think we're going to leave it like that. Even with that little hole right there. Maybe... Maybe that. Maybe that. What else could we do right there that might look a little bit better? Yeah, actually. That did it. I'm no longer convinced that that did it. Okay. I think that's it. We're just going to leave it like that. Okay, so that's our front-ish. This part up here, I'm not as happy with. No, I am happy with it. Never mind. I'll take that back. I like that. Alright, that part looks good. So we got to figure out around this thing. Now I'm thinking... I don't really want to do like the classic, like... this thing. Because then it just always ends up looking square. Even if you do the... you know, the 2x1s... Let's make another copy of this. Get rid of you. Copy you. Go. Oh. real loud. So I got one block to do stuff. Let's see. I mean, we could just do what I was originally doing and something like that. I didn't like how that connected to the battery because of the groove on the battery, so I guess we would do half block, which I could do with beam blocks then. Maybe that's enough. Or maybe we just do it like this and keep it blue. I do need to add a little bit more blue. This thing does have some blue accents in different places. So, if we really wanted to keep with the same accent, we would probably do something like this on the back. Where else might we want to throw some blue in? We've got our stripes on the top. Actually, that's pretty much it. That's just got some random... Ow. Random bits. We don't have this spacer by the back anymore. We could do... Maybe do that. Just to connect something up to it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really need to. Now it looks weird. Now it looks, even though it's symmetrical, it looks asymmetrical because there's nothing sticking out on this side. Let's get rid of that. I'm okay with keeping these little blue things on there and then just leaving this open. Let's maybe... Okay, we got a little bit of work to do on the bottom here. What did the bottom of this thing look like? That's still there, I think, that light. That light's gone. This is no longer necessary, so we don't need that. Yeah, so let's get this light going right here. There we go. It's my landing light, I guess. I'm thinking here we're just going to put that there. Kind of direct the flow of air into those turbines. Can't get anything up. Oh, I can get things up in there. Okay. Do I want to get things up in there? I could just do something structural up in there. All up in there. You know, just something to help hold the battery on in case of damage. Stop moving. Maybe just put a little block up in there like that. Alright. That looks good. Then the last thing I want to do on here is armor. Just give me the light armor panel. There we go. I want to cover up... I really dislike having these kinds of holes visible. So, yeah, we could put like a hatch on it, I guess. Let's see. Do we have what kind of little? That's a gyroscope thing. Don't we have like a little? We have that thing, the conveyor cap. Maybe that would look better there. Let's put that like that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too low. Might make landing, if we have to land flat, might be a little weird. But don't really anticipate doing that. Although I do... maybe I should put mag plates on the bottom of some of these things just so that if I do need to land it, it doesn't just land directly on these. I think that's a good idea. I didn't really need to do that in space too much. So let's do that. Let's say like maybe here and here. Sound good? We could cover up in between here too, just to... Okay. I like how that turned out. What's this thing called? What should we call this thing? It's the original name was the Go-Getter. I might just change their names to like Go-Getter A and Go-Getter I for like atmospheric and ion. Oh, Joshua. You're joshing me. He's joshing me. He's joshing me because I made him name a ship that on his stream earlier today. And it was a really good name too, by the way. It was the perfect name for the ship he was making. Go-Getter J. For Josh. Alright, so let's grab an actual blueprint of it. And I'll clean up blueprints later. But let's see, can we get a... Can I get one of you? Unlock. Unlock. I really should just go in the thing and do it here. Because... Boom. There we go. Disconnected. Alright, now. Slight problem. I was going to paste this on, but I would have to paste it, turn the merge blocks on, and then... Because it will not connect. I don't think. Okay. New plan then. Oh no, wait, it will connect because these merge blocks stay on. I would just need to... Okay, hang on. Copy it from that block. There we go. Merged. So yeah, there are little merge blocks down here on each side. There's two merge blocks. Here and here. And then to transfer materials that goes from here to here. So it is a... it's not just these things, because if you've ever tried to do like something with drills and they're just connected through these things, it's a pain. There's all sorts of things you got to do and they wiggle around. So that takes care of that. So now we could probably give it a fly and see how it works here. How much of my... Okay, my toolbar didn't come back up. I don't remember what's supposed to be on those other two there. What might have been there? I don't remember. Oh. Oh. There it is. Okay. Just wanted to see what would happen if I tried to fly with a full load here. I know I could just spawn stuff into it, but we're gonna do this instead because it's fun. And my connectors are not connected. Is that... I think that's what's supposed to be I think that's what's supposed to be in the thing here, so that would be these two. I want you to lock. Are you locked? Looks locked. Okay, good. Good, there we go, okay. So if the drill attachment is still working correctly, these red lights there should turn on when it gets full here, so. There we go. Now we are full. Let me see if I can just completely fill this thing up here. Just want to see how we fly when we're completely full. We might have a little problem. Yeah, we have a problem. We can no longer lift. Okay, so, oh, also can I connect this to the backup? Because I don't have the blue things on the side, so I think I connected this to the wrong prototype. Okay, so we might need... Yeah, we are slowly sinking here. We might need a little bit more up thrust, which we could just stick... we could get a little bit more on the back there. Yeah, you know what? Hang on. We don't need to... See, now we can ever so slowly go up. So what if we did, like... This is probably a good thing. Why am I looking at merge blocks? I'm on the wrong toolbar. It's probably a good thing that I grabbed the wrong prototype then, because it's got stuff in the way on the other one. And we could just... I could just fit like a thruster there. Thruster there. We could do an extra thruster there. That would be a lot. But... Let's do it. Let's see what we get here. I don't think we need this one on the back then if we do that. Let's see. Let's fill back up and see if that's enough. And we have 32 minutes. Okay, so we're barely going up here. I mean, I could just say, when the lights come on, you stop mining. You know, and then... Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the hole. Okay, so now we are there. Oh, we're very, very slow. We can still go up. Okay, what happens if we fill the drills entirely? Oh, I'm also a little bit crooked there. Alright, we can just barely go up. We're basically at max thrust, holding us up here. Which means it's going to be... yep, and the side thrusters are not enough to keep us from drifting. Oh, now we're slowly going down. Alright, I think I'm just going to say the... I'm just going to say that the... we don't fill it. Or should I take out that cargo container? Because now we're at a point where like the side thrust and everything is Oh, hang on. Oh, this one doesn't have the mag plates on it. I cannot... Yeah, there's no mag plates on this one. I cannot go up. So like we can easily scoot side to side. That's not a problem. Okay, now we're going up. We're so close to the thing. Now the thing is, if we go sideways at all here, we're going down. Right, we're sliding down because it's the side thrust. When the more of the side thrust that takes over, the less good we are. I mean, I'm okay with that as a, like, if we said, like, hey, when those lights go on, you stop mining because you're overloaded. I'm okay with that as, like, for my personal use. I would feel weird putting that on the workshop and saying, like, yeah, it's if you completely fill the thing and turn sideways, you're gonna just fall to the ground. Although, I don't know, I guess maybe a lot of miners are like that. Like, you can't obviously turn upside down, so... How are we now? Yeah. Oh, no, that's a bad idea. I should try this further up in the sky. We stop okay. Stopping is not bad. I think this is okay, honestly. I might put two more. I might put those two thrusters back on the back for additional lift, just so that it's like, you know, like if I'm going down, we're not going to accidentally smash into the ground. We'll be able to slow down. So I think I am going to do two more on the back. Yeah, this was the one I was working on. So we'll have to. Well, the only thing I did here was this, right? Oh, I put a block up in the middle there, I think. I think that was what I did. I did not do that here. Okay, so let me go back over to this one. That one's just going to stay over there. Do I still have... Uh-huh. Hang on, hang on. Almost. What do you mean, doo-doo? Am I in the way? I'm not in the way. What's in the way? Nothing should be different between this one and the other one. Huh. The front's not any different between this one and the other miner, so why is it not letting me connect? Oh, it seems I left some leftover plates right here. That could be the problem. That was the problem. Okay. Okay, so those are all connected now. So if I was to go back here, get rid of that, and get some thrusties. And let's see, how do we actually like these to be? I think, ooh, actually, no, like this. Does that look weird? I think that actually might look okay. What type of scaffolding we got? We got that thing too. Ah. The heck button did I just push? Let's see. Those are kind of like this, I guess. Or we could do a full... Something like that to make it look like they're on, I guess. So now we got some extra... Yeah, it's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Maybe I need... Oh, you think we might go... Okay. Let's double check here. It shouldn't matter if we're fully loaded for a test, just because it'll fire at full power either way, but we could also do a fully loaded test here. So going full forward. And then strafing. And I'm also going up right now, and we're at 87%. So I'm hitting 3 directions. And we're at 85%. So I think we're good on... I still think we're good on power. We have more thrusters in the front, though. I should probably do like a backwards test, and let's do it this way so I don't hit anything. Yeah, so even then we hit 93%. 92, 93, whatever. So I think we're good on that power. Alright, should we go fill it up with ore and see how it performs? I almost smashed into the other one. Smashed into you. Do you have a name? Yeah, okay, good. You have a name. Let's bookmark you. Or blueprint you, rather. I think I need some... I feel like I need some sort of additional color on these thrusters back here. It's just, it's so gray back here. You know. Oh, I was supposed to put lights back here, too. We'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, I feel like I did want to do some... I don't want to just put panels on it. I could just make the turbines themselves blue. How will that look? Do that? Because they're not... Ooh. No. Close, though. I want to keep these things this color. But there's just enough blue tint in those thrusters, I think. Just enough blue. I like that. Gives it just a splash of color. Okay. Blueprint again. Let's go fill it up with ore. Where did I... Here we go. I got a good feeling about this, that it will at least be functional enough. I connected the connectors this time, right? Yes, okay, good. Why do I not see containers filling? Oh, there we go. See if we can get rid of this bush that's here. Why is there a bush growing in the... Or is this a tree? Did you guys see from the teen, like, meeting day or whatever they were doing? They put out some new photos of the planets. It's looking pretty good. Yes, there already exists, although I don't have the blueprints handy. There already exists a welder, a grinder, and a mag plate version of it. So there's 4 different tools. There's also, I don't think I blueprinted it. I think I'd have to go back into the world where I did it, but I also made a, like, docking station for them where you would basically fly the ship up to, like, a series of, like, specific mag plates. And I could actually make this even better now with the newer blocks that have come out in the last 2 years, but it would fly up and, you know, you would just basically magnetically lock it, the tool, and then you would disconnect from the ship side, pull back, and then they would all just be like lined up, and you would then connect to the one you wanted. All right, I think my red lights are on, so we should now be struggling, and we're still able to go up. We're burning at 58% just hovering. Let's keep going on the drills for a bit here. It wouldn't be hard to turn this into a PAM miner. It's got, I was just thinking about that, because it's got screens inside that we could use for PAM controls. And it's got plenty of space. The only thing I'd be missing is sensor, programmable block, and remote control. And there's already a good spot for a remote control. Alright, so I think we're full now. Full as full can be. We can still slightly go up. So I feel like we're in a good spot here. Let's head back without scooting to the side. How far can I turn? Come on, before I start sliding. Okay, so I feel like that's enough. Okay, yeah, now we're going. I feel like that's enough wiggle room to not cause much of a problem. So we're at 65%. This is me hitting multiple. So now when we're slowing down, we were at 93%. So I feel like we're good there. I just hope we don't burn through the whole battery trying to go there and back, you know? So there we go. So I've got a bit of work to do still on naming things and setting up groups. I do have to put some lights on the back. We got light on the side. We got lights on the bottom. And I got a spot right here for lights on the back. Got my camera. I think that's it. I think we're good. Do I want to set it up for PAM mining? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. As cool as PAM mining is, does the sensor have to be facing forward on PAM mining? You know, the funny thing about it is that I would probably want all of the PAM stuff to be in the attachment. I mean, this thing can have a remote control and stuff, but like, there's the grinder and the welder. I guess technically PAM can do those things, can do grinding in a pattern as well, but I feel like it wouldn't really need those things, but I guess that would be a concession that would be reasonable to make if I was to put the sensor somewhere here. But I forget, does the sensor have to face forward for PAM to work? I don't remember, because I could easily put like a remote control just like right here or in one of those spots under there or something like that. Or even up back here behind the thing. That wouldn't be too bad. I'll think about it. Maybe there'll be a upgraded version that has Pam on it or something. Okay, sensor has to be facing forward, so I would have to put it... Well, you know what? The reason this thing is facing forward, this is actually a good point. The reason that thing is there facing forward is so that I could use the radio spectrometry mod when I'm in space and scan asteroids. And because we are never going to be in space, that does not need to be right there. So we could actually move the ore detector somewhere else. Like it could go back underneath right there, and we could put the PAM sensor right in the front. Yeah, why don't we do that? It wouldn't take much to make this thing PAM ready. And then let's see, I'll put that right there. Oh, okay. Hang on. What would we do? I think that's okay. We'll just have it just do like that. Make it stick out the other way. Okay. I didn't need to take that out of there. On the top. Let's grab you. Put you there. Put you there. And I think I'm going to put it right here. Actually. Oh, there's actually a whole big space right there, huh? I could embed it in the ground right there. In the ground. Let's see. Yeah, we could hide it down in there. I was originally thinking I'd put it like right there, but I'm just going to hide it down in there. Boom. And then... Sensor. Which sensor do we want on the front here? Let's do the cool one. Right side up. Is that right side up? I'm assuming the arrows mean up. There we go. Now, I just need... I'm not sure that that's supposed to be blue back there, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. I just need a spot to put a programmable block now. And I think I've got 2 spots, don't I? I just buried them underneath some things. So, stand by. I'm going to see if I can dig them out. Yeah, right there. So, put one on each side. That way, if I need another one in the future, I will have another one. We will just stick it way back in there. And then fill this back in. Alright, so now we should be able to PAM the night away. And that actually is a pretty decent ship then, I would say. All the thrust is in the butt. Probably not the best phrasing, but all the thrust is in the back. The attachments still function. It's, as far as I could tell, basically the exact same dimensions as the original. It might... No, it's the exact same dimensions as the original. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So... Wait, did Kaz still not get on the board? No, he didn't. Oh, wow. I have no idea. I think this stuff doesn't work. We gotta stop playing with these crowns. Anyway. Should that be... No, okay. Don't bike shed it. Okay. Yeah, no, I like how this turned out. This is really awesome. So I've got some work to do to clean up the cockpit controls, the terminal, and everything, but we're good to go. So no timeline on when I'll get this on the workshop, but at some point I'll get it on the workshop. Along with the Ion version, which works pretty well as well. And I think I'm going to go with Kaz's suggestion and put all these things on a sprue, because they all have this spot right here. And we'll just go connect them, do the next one, connect them, do the next one. Then you'll be able to print all 4 pieces together. I think that'll work. So, cool. What time we got? I think I'm about done. So, let me blueprint this thing again, and we'll call it a day. So tomorrow, if all goes well, I should be doing Elder Scrolls Online. I know we all got out of watching me play Elder Scrolls today, but it will happen. It's going to happen. So Elder Scrolls Online tomorrow, and then Sunday, if all goes well, we'll be back on the server playing with DNA and Nitro, and doing some 3D printing, I think. I forgot what they told me they wanted to do. So, oh, the like and subscribe is what got you on the leaderboard. Everybody unsubscribe and unlike, and then do it again and see what happens. Resubscribe and relike. I'm going to watch my numbers go up and down. And then next week, maybe I will do this. Maybe I will do Oblivion Remastered. I still have one more thing I want to try to build, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to do this again next week, next Thursday. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Next Thursday, I'm going to play Space Engineers, and we're going to design another thing in creative. And then we'll see where we go from there. So until I decide on a new survival series, which this is really kind of taking the pressure off of that decision, to be honest, but until I decide on a new survival series, we'll be doing things in creative, and then the other slot will either, like if I run out of things to do in creative, I'll just either do like Oblivion Remastered, or I might pick a random other thing that might be even more fun or something. So, I have no idea if what you guys are doing is working or not. I think it is, because everybody just moved around. Hold on, I'm looking at the leaderboard here. Yeah, I guess. If you keep unsubscribing and resubscribing, does it keep giving you more XP? If so, I mean, that's the game then. That's the metagame. Either way, we'll figure that out next time. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here so nobody gets more XP. There's barely even like bragging rights to winning this game. So anyway, thanks everybody. Hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you next time. Appreciate everybody. Talk to you later.